So I'm reading this article the other day in the Huffington Post. The article was about the Reason Rally, and I just thought it was the funniest thing I've ever read, at least in a while. The person seemed to have a problem with the Reason Rally. The whole idea of a bunch of atheist organizations, secular groups, free thinkers just coming together, coming together like that. There was evidently in her mind a problem with that. But the main criticism that stuck out in my head the most was the whole these atheist organizations might be engaging in legal commerce. They might actually be attempting to raise funds. Doesn't that come as a shock? As I'm sure most of you realize, any organization needs money to run. Any organization is going to have overhead. But apparently this writer thinks that's an issue. She has a problem with that. Except for when it comes to religious people raising money. Because in every church across this country, on Sunday, you'll find them passing the plate around. Now, there's practical reasons for this. I won't deny it. These churches have overhead as well. They have to pay for the electricity of the building. Wintertime, they want heat. Summertime, they want air conditioning. That's practical reasons. Some of them even run little food drives where they feed the hungry, get clothes for the poor, and all that good stuff. But let's not delude ourselves into thinking that's the only place this money goes. This money also goes in the pockets of the clergy. Just take a look at a lot of these pastors and these preachers. Look at the clothes they wear. Look at the jewelry on their fingers. Look at the cars they drive. Now, look at the congregation. A lot of them aren't dressing like that. A lot of them aren't living like that. And to top it all off, they're not even paying taxes. Well, the church as an entity anyway isn't even paying taxes. But she doesn't have an issue with that. Funny how, the church doesn't pay taxes, yet these religious groups want to get together and lobby politicians, influence elections, stuff like this, but they don't feel obligated to pay taxes to the government. She has no problem with that, though. She just has a problem with us one day coming together and speaking out, a celebration of secular thought, I suppose. My main reason for thinking this is a good idea is that we need to show that we have a voice, that we have numbers too, because most politicians in this country, they play the numbers game. If 85% of the citizens self-identify as Christian, who do you think they're going to listen to most of the time? Who do you think whose asses are going to get kissed most of the time? It's going to be theirs. And you know what? I have no problem with religious folks, of course, being involved in politics. It's their government too. It's their country too. My problem is this sense of entitlement that thinks that your narrative should be the only narrative that anyone's concerned about. That's my problem. My other problem is that you are trying to legislate your religious faith and put that into public policy. I'm not with it. But thankfully, going back to the article, there was another article written by another guy in that same paper. I'll put the links to both articles in the description, where he took her to task about all her criticisms and he put things in the proper context. So at least there was a balance there. But I just thought that article was so funny, so hypocritical, and so ironic. But anyway, I'm releasing my album tomorrow. You can get it from landofthedead.com. I'll put that link in the description too. The other website that I was using, Reverb Nation, I probably won't be using that as much